In July of 2026, 41 single family homes sold across four zip codes in Upper Northwest DC for a combined $97,243,000 in closed volume. That works out to 1.3 homes changing hands every single day and $3,136,000 in residential real estate trading hands per day in four zip codes in the slowest month of the summer. Supply, absorption, velocity, and price, 10 core statistics, and everything they imply. Today, I'm giving you every meaningful number from the July 2026 single family market in zip codes 20016, 20008, 20015, and 20007. Supply, absorption, velocity, and price. 10 core statistics and everything they imply. I'm Sherine Monir, a realtor with Compass and also a licensed interior designer here in Washington, D.C. I've lived in this city for more than 25 years, and these four zip codes cover Spring Valley, Wesley Heights, American University Park, Palisades, Chevy Chase, Glover Park, Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, Forest Hills, Barnaby Woods, Hawthorne, Kent, Berkeley, and Georgetown. Grab a pen if you're a seller. I'm going to give you four numbers in the velocity section that will tell you, before you ever list, which side of this market your house is going to land on. Let's start with supply. At the close of July, there were 133 active single-family listings across all four zip codes. Of those 133, 132 were priced at $1 million or above. That is 99.2% of all available detached inventory, sitting in seven figures. Below that line, here is the complete inventory. One home, a single listing priced between $900,000 and $1 million. And below $900,000, the count in every single price band is zero. Zero between $800,000 and $900,000. Zero between $700,000 and $800,000. Zero between $600,000 and $700,000. Zero between $500,000 and $600,000. Every band from $0 up to $900,000 reads zero. Now layer on new supply. 30 new single-family listings came onto the market in July. All 30 were priced above $1 million. New listings below $1 million. Zero. Not one new detached home came to market under seven figures in Spring Valley, Wesley Heights, American University Park, Chevy Chase, Glover Park, Cleveland Park, or Georgetown for the entire month. So that's the supply side. 133 active, 99.2% above $1 million, 30 new arrivals, 100% of them above $1 million. Now demand, and this is where the numbers get interesting. 41 homes sold, 40 of those 41 were above $1 million, which is 97.6% of all closed transactions. Exactly one sale happened below the $1 million line. Run the absorption math. 41 sales against 133 active listings means buyers absorb 30.8% of all standing inventory in a single month. Nearly a third of everything on the market went under contract in 31 days. Compare inflow to outflow. 30 new listings came on, 41 sold. That's 1.37 sales for every one new listing. For every 10 homes that came to market, roughly 14 left it. The net effect, standing inventory shrank by 11 homes over the course of the month, an 8.3% reduction in available supply in July, which is historically the deadest stretch of the residential calendar. That absorption rate is what produces the months of inventory figure, which came in at 3 months for the million-plus segment. My own calculation from the raw counts is 3.24 months. Same story either way, if not one additional home listed, and buyers kept buying at exactly July's pace. Every active listing across these four zip codes would be gone by roughly the first week of November. The standard benchmark, 6 months of inventory, is a balanced market. Below 6 favors sellers, above 6 favors buyers. 3.24 is not just a seller's market, it's roughly half of balanced. Now the velocity numbers, and these are the four I told you to write down. Median days to sell, 10 days. Average days to sell, 27 days. Median cumulative days on market, 12 days. Average cumulative days on market, 37 days. Take a look at what those four numbers do when you put them next to each other. The average days to sell at 27 is 2.7 times the median of 10. The average cumulative days on market at 37 is 3.08 times the median of 12. When an average runs 3 times its own median, that is not a market with a normal distribution. That is a market with two distinct populations inside it. Population 1, the fast half. Half of everything that sold in July went from listed to under contract in 10 days or fewer. 10 days, that's a single weekend of showings, an offer deadline, and done. Population 2, the tail. A group of listings sitting long enough to drag a 10-day median up to a 27-day average, and a 12-day median up to a 37-day average. Now here's the detail almost nobody catches, and it's the most useful thing in this entire dataset. Compare cumulative days on market to days to sell at the median, 12 versus 10, a 2-day gap. Now compare them at the average, 37 versus 27, a 10-day gap. Cumulative days on market counts a property's full listing history, including any time it spent listed before, pulled off, and brought back. Days to sell counts only the current run. So at the median, the 2-day spread tells you the typical home that sold in July was a clean, first-time listing with essentially no prior history. But at the average, that spread widens to 10 days, which means the slow group isn't just slow. It's disproportionately made up of homes that were already listed once, came off the market, and came back. That is the fingerprint of a mispriced launch. These are not homes with something structurally wrong with them. These are homes that went out at the wrong number the first time, burned through the first 2 weeks when agent attention and buyer attention are at absolute peak, sat, withdrew, and relaunched carrying a history that every buyer's agent in the city can pull up in about 4 seconds. Two things determine which population your home lands in, and I'll be direct with you about both. The first is your launch price, not your price after 2 reductions. Your launch price in a market with a 10-day median, your entire window of maximum exposure is measured in days, not months, and you get exactly one of them. The second is presentation. I'm NCIDQ certified, and I've worked as a licensed interior designer for a long time, so I'll say this plainly. At a median sale price of nearly $2 million, buyers are not purchasing potential. They're purchasing resolution, lighting, furniture scale, paint, the sightline from the front door through to the kitchen. Those decisions are what move a home from the 37-day group into the 10-day group, and they cost a fraction of the first price reduction you'd otherwise be making in week 6. Now, pricing. The average sale price across those 41 July closings was $2,406,702. The median sale price was $1,943,000. The gap between them is $463,702. Put differently, the average is running 23.9% above the median. Anytime an average sits nearly a quarter above its own median, a small number of very large transactions are doing the pulling. In these 4 zip codes, that's exactly what happens. A Georgetown property or an estate transaction in Spring Valley, something significant on Foxhall Road. Those close at numbers that lift the average for the entire market, while the actual middle of it, the well-maintained detached home in American University Park, or Chevy Chase, or Glover Park, trades much closer to that $1,943,000 median. So if you're a seller working from an average sale price you saw in a headline or an automated valuation, you may be anchored to a number that no home comparable to yours has ever actually sold for. And if you're a buyer, that same average is making your budget look far more inadequate than it really is. Before I recap, one last data point I find genuinely striking. Look at the $900,000 to $1 million band on its own. Active listings, 1. New listings, 0. Sales, 1. Months of inventory, 1. Average days to sell, 7. Median days to sell, 7. Cumulative days on market, both average and median, 7. Sale price, both average and median, $975,000. Every single statistic in that band describes one house. It came on, it sold in a week, it closed at 975,000, and it left behind an empty price tier with nothing to replace it. If you're a buyer, that's your whole situation in one line. There is currently no meaningful detached inventory in Upper Northwest DC below $1 million, and nothing in the new listing pipeline suggests that changes soon. What you do have is that 37-day average, because a group of listings sitting well past the 10-day median means there are sellers right now in Cleveland Park, Woodley Park, Palisades, and elsewhere whose expectations have started to move. Those are your negotiation targets, and they're usually sitting for reasons that are cosmetic and fixable rather than structural. So, July 2026 across Upper Northwest DC, by the numbers: 133 active listings, 99.2% above $1 million, 30 new listings, all above a million, 41 sales, 97.6% above a million, 30.8% of standing inventory, absorbed in a single month. Inventory net down 11 homes or 8.3%, 3.24 months of supply, 10-day median to sell against a 27-day average, 12-day median cumulative days on market against the 37-day average, median sale price of $1,943,000, average sale price of $2,406,702, $97,243,000 in total closed volume. If you own a home in Spring Valley, Wesley Heights, American University Park, Palisades, Chevy Chase, Glover Park, Cleveland Park, Forest Hills, Barnaby Woods, or Georgetown, and you want to know honestly which side of that 10-day, 37-day line your house would fall on, reach out. I'll build you the comparable sales that actually match your street, your square footage, and your condition. And I'll tell you what I change before we list. No obligation attached to that conversation. Everything starts at SherineMonir.com YouTube, or call or text me directly at 202-536-4043. I'm Sherine Monir. I'm here whenever you're ready.